Hey guys, I'm the 50s Kid. In this video, we're going to do a full review and tour of my 5-drawer US General service cart from Harbor Freight. So let's get started. So I do love this toolbox. It is the first box that I ever bought, and I've used it. I've kind of abused it. It's held up, man. It's been pretty good. I did have this lower drawer just loaded up with tools. Just everything was piled high because I stuffed this thing so full of everything, and I definitely, I think, exceeded the weight a little bit, and it did bend a little bit on the sides here, just because I would abuse it. So it is not snap-on quality. It's not something where you're going to pull the drawers out and do a push-up on or whatever, or pull yourself up on. I don't know why anybody would ever do that with their toolbox, but I guess it shows that, they're really, really strong. But this is not quite as strong. This is Harbor Freight, but for the money, you cannot beat this box. This thing is around $160, maybe $150 sometimes, depending on the coupon you have. And it is so worth the money, especially for just a home gamer. If you're just a DIYer and you just have, just DIYer tools, just go ahead and buy this. This is such a great buy, okay? If you are a starting technician, you're just getting into it, yeah, okay, you can buy this, but the thing is, you're gonna run out of space really, really fast, okay? I ran out of space really quickly. The only problem with this as a service cart is the fact that it doesn't have drawers that go all the way down. When you're looking for a service cart, if you are a professional, you want to have one that has drawers all the way down. This one just has an empty space down at the bottom. So as you can see, I've added a side table to it right here. I particularly love having this side table because this is where I put all my tools. The car's right here. I'm working on the car. I just turn to the side. I'm right-handed. I just put the tools down right there. You can put this table on either side. It is an accessory that you buy, but it was just absolutely worth the money, and I'm sorry I didn't buy it for the longest time. And you can see I've also got the paper towel holder for it. This is just magnetic, so super easy, pretty affordable, pretty cheap. This is a great thing. You can buy this for any toolbox, and it's just absolutely great. So my one annoyance with this tool cart is the fact that the back doesn't sit at a 90-degree angle. It's sort of, I don't know, it's not exactly a 45, but somewhere between a 45 and a 90. And it's just, it makes it a little awkward to sort of put things on it. And I mean, it's still usable, it's still doable, but it would just be really nice if it sat up at a 90-degree angle. But that's honestly something that you can live with. That's not that big a deal. So you got nice casters on it. You got a nice configuration of drawers. You got smaller drawers over here. You've got one big drawer here, and you've got mostly a wrench drawer here, and then a bigger drawer down below for whatever you want. That's a pretty good configuration, and it's just, there's nothing more I can say about the box itself other than, yeah, really love it, really happy with it. So now we're going to do more of an in-depth look at it. Over here, I've got the 1/2-inch Milwaukee high torque impact. And then I've got the mid-torque right here. They just hang off the sides, so those hangers are super handy. I got the Milwaukee pry bars over here on this side. I've done a video on those before. Those have been great. Those are really great. They're just awesome. Over here, I got the Torx sticks. Super controversial subject. A lot of pansies out there. This is a Wera flexible nut driver, 6mm. It's great for BMWs for getting those ring clamps off. Over here I got some Husky Torx screwdrivers. I don't like them. I wouldn't buy them again. Get something better. Probably get the Weras. I got some Ultrafire flashlights back here. These again operate off those same 18650s that are in that Harbor Freight light. So super common. You can charge those up. You can get a bunch of extra batteries for those. This is a magnet, long telescoping magnet, heavy duty magnet for when you got to pick up heavy things so those things don't fall down. Back here, these are wheel, I'm not sure exactly what they are called. They screw in, because on BMWs or European cars, you have lug studs. You don't have studs sticking out of the wheel hub. So when you take the car off, and you try to put the tire back on, it doesn't hang on anything and it falls off. If you screw these in, you can actually hang the tire and then get the wheel lugs on there. So that's super helpful for me because I don't have a lot of space on the sides of my garage, so it's sometimes kind of hard, it's a tight fit to get those tires up there and hold them on and get the wheel bolts on. So I've got some of those. They come in a set of different sizes and stuff. This is the Harbor Freight flexing 1/2 inch driver. It's great for, you know, when I need it. I don't use it very often at all. You can see it's not even dirty yet, so I rarely use it. I'll show you what I do use a little later, but this just fits here really well. This is my number one. This is my go-to. This is the Snap-on. This is the, which one is this? This is the FHLF 80. And I bought this used from eBay. There's no reason to buy Snap-on tools new because they hold up, you know. So I bought this for 70 bucks used off eBay. It's normally probably 130. It does beat the Harbor Freight version of this. It's just more heavy duty, and I happen to like Snap-on ratchets. They're just so nice, and you know this doesn't flick on you accidentally. That was the one problem with the Harbor Freight one. This just it would get flicked into the middle, you know, a little too easily. So the Snap-on has a little more positive locking action. I just love this. I just like Snap-on tool ratchets in particular. That's about all I like from Snap-on, by the way. And this is the 1/4 inch version of it. I wish that Harbor Freight made a long one of this. I wish they did that. That's the only long one that they don't make. They make a long 1/2 inch, a long 3/8, but not a long 1/4 inch. So that kind of sucks. These right here are gear wrench swivel sockets, 1/4 inch. I like them so far. I haven't used them a whole lot, but I like them for when I need them. They're really great. You know, these are. This is a 1/4 inch set of just chrome sockets. This is made by Great Neck, and this is like under $20, and you got a full set right here. You don't have the 4.5s, and it only goes up to 14, but that's most of them go up to 14 anyway. But this is a full set, deep and shallows, $18. They're great. They're fine. I mean, they're chromes. You don't put a gigantic amount of torque on chrome sockets. You're not going to break them. They're great. You know, I love them. So here I got the extensions. I particularly love sorting them this way by length and not by, you know, drive size. So, I mean, here, this is a 1/2 inch 10. This is a 3/8 10. These are 6s. This is a swivel. This is a swivel socket. So if you haven't seen those before, they have the ability for the socket to swivel around. So they're really handy to have. This one's Harbor Freight. This is Aries tool. You get those on Amazon. This is Harbor Freight. This is Gray Pneumatic. Came with my Gray Pneumatic set. This is Aries. So these are 1/4 inch. And then again, 1/2 inch. This is actually 5 inches right here. And this is a 4 inch extension. Again, Aries, Harbor Freight, Aries. And over here, I've got the other ones, the sort of matching sizes. You know, it can go right there if it needed to. I've got, this is the Aries. So you know, this is all a set. It's basically sort of 3 or 4 sets that I've got here. So Aries, Harbor Freight, Gray Pneumatic, Harbor Freight swivel, Harbor Freight normal, and Aries. So that's what I got going on right there. I'll just leave that there. Up towards the back, these are more swivels. These are from Harbor Freight. These are kind of the crappy ones. You know, they got this little ring holding the pin in. They work great though. Like, you know, they work until you break them, and then you can go back and get a couple more from Harbor Freight. But, you know, for the money, for as often as I need them, they work, and I use them on impacts, and they're just fine. These are sockets with protective sleeves for lug nuts. So lug nut sockets, right? The sleeves come off if you need them to. Hold on, that was a little stuck. So the sleeves come off. They're just thin-walled impact sockets, and it's a standard set of 3, like the 3 most popular lug nut sizes. It's 17, 19, and 21. And I believe the 19 and the 21s are also SAE sizes. They double for SAE sizes. This was like $11, this set on Amazon. Just take a look for that set. And you could have bought a set of 5 too for just a couple more dollars, but I didn't think I would ever need them. So I got those just because they were so cheap. Back here we got spark plug sockets, you know, with the rubber inside of them. The 21 doubles for 13/16. That's what it is. The 3/4, This is the 5/8 back here. This is a 14 millimeter 12 point, which you need if you want to do the newer BMW spark plugs like on Minis and stuff like that. This is an O2 sensor socket from Harbor Freight. Don't get this one, it sucks. It opens up, it bends open, and buy another one, buy something that's got thicker walls by somebody else, because I don't like that one. Over here in this corner, this is a 36 millimeter 12 point from Craftsman, just because that was the only one that was available in town. But I would rather, I suppose, have the deep 36 12 point socket so it would match the 12 points that I got going on right here. As you can see right here, these are 12 point sockets. These are from Harbor Freight. Had these forever. I put the white on the numbers so I can see them better. Pittsburgh, they're not chrome molybdenum, but you know what? They're good. They actually work real good. You can abuse them. I've used these to work on every suspension that I've worked on, and they're really awesome. The only problem with the set is this one, the 16, does not come with it. It doesn't have a 16. It doesn't have a 12. It doesn't have a 16 and it doesn't have a 12. You can get away with not having an 11, you know, who really cares, but the 16 especially, you want to have it. This is a gray pneumatic socket that I added on to the set. The reason I like this set though is because it comes with a 27. It also comes with a 30 12 point deep, and it comes with a 32 12 point deep. Those are useful if you're doing like, you know, a Toyota's use 12.30s, something else uses 12.32. So that's a really great way to get, I mean, if you end up needing to buy this socket, that's going to cost you 10 bucks. This whole set costs you 20 bucks originally. So it's really a good value, a really good buy. And I've just added, you know, all I did was add the 16 to it, and it's a full set as far as I'm concerned. Over here, we've got another Harbor Freight set. These are better. These are chromoly sockets, and this is basically a full set. And you know, everything skips the 20. You do not need the 20. That's just a unicorn size. Nobody ever uses it. So this goes all the way up to 22. That's just like a standard set. And it does not come with a 24, which is really bad, and you know, to me. But I've just added it on. This is a Sunex socket. Sunex is a really great brand. If you don't like Harbor Freight for some particular reason, go Sunex. They make really great sockets. But you know, that Harbor Freight set comes with a 27, so which is really useful. So you know, all I've added to them is the 24 and the 16. And as far as I'm concerned, I've pretty much got all the sizes I really am ever going to need, I think. Back here, I've got the gray pneumatic swivel sockets. These are really great. I love them a lot. Haven't used every single one of them yet, but I'm trying to use them as much as I possibly can. I keep the 10 in my tool bag because I need it quite often when I'm going to the junkyard to remove a particular thing that I continue to sell on eBay. Over here, these are my favorite sockets. These are the gray pneumatics. These are the duo sockets. I believe I have reviewed these before in a video. I think it was my what tools should a beginner buy video. I love these. It's just a full set. This one actually does come with a 20, but it's a full set. It runs from 7 all the way to 22, and it comes with a 20. I don't keep the 20 in here because there's just not enough room on these rails. These rails, by the way, these ones right here, these are Vim rail sockets, okay, or Vim rails. They're magnetic rails. See, this one actually has the little pull thing on it, so I can pull that up and show you. So they're Vim mag rail sockets. They come with these little things here. You can actually move and readjust them. So you know, you can unscrew them and you can just sort of move them around and adjust them and get them in just the right position. The whole thing is magnetic, so it just pops down on your tray. It's really awesome. Super convenient too, organization-wise. If you want to put these up like right here, they'll stay right there. You can keep those sockets right there. This is one of the reasons why you want to have something that's vertical, because if it's not exactly 90 degrees, you know, it's kind of hanging down a little bit here and you're going to hit it. That's kind of one of the reasons I don't put these there. But organizationally, I could put these up here and it would just give me more space down here. So that's one of the reasons I've gone with magnetic rails. So I've got those gray pneumatics on the Vim mag rails. So these ones back here, they're not on a magnetic rail just because I haven't bought one for it yet. This rail, I believe I bought it from Tecton, but I think Ernst actually makes it as well and sells it. So this is just like the quarter turn one, and then it holds it on. Holds it on pretty well. It's pretty sturdy. I just have that on there just because that's what I have. And I don't usually keep them locked on too. It's particularly annoying to kind of pull these off and whatnot. I guess I have to remember to sort of turn it because I'm used to the magnetic part, but not a big deal. Over here, I have got a 3/8 set of Torx bits. I try to have a 3/8 set of, like a completely 3/8 set. So this is 60, and we go all the way down to 10. Now this is sort of a mixed bag right here. Over here I've got Nico. I've got Nico from here to, I believe, to the, actually, it's actually, these are the Nico ones. This is Nico right here. These are actually Bergen. And they're all right. It's a super cheap tool brand from the UK. They're not that great. The T27 actually kind of broke on me the first time I used it, so that's not that great. But the smaller ones have seemed to be all right. For some reason the T27 is like this magic point where, the when they make the socket not that strong, that particular size with how tight those fasteners are, it's just going to break it if you don't have a good quality one. So whatever. These are Harbor Freight Allen bits, 3/8. I love these. They're absolutely wonderful. They have not broken on me. These are my original ones. I've been using them for 3 or 4 years now. They're awesome. Over here, I've just got, this is actually Aries right here. This one's a Pittsburgh. I don't know what happened to my Aries one. It came in a set of 4. I don't know what happened to it. This is just the one, I don't even know who makes this. Probably Lyle. I think that's who I bought that from. That's a triple square. Over here, these are more Bergen sockets. These are Bergen eTorx sockets, and I bought this set because it goes up to, what is this? An E20. I bought it. It was super cheap. It was under $20, but you get what you pay for. The broaching on the thing inside that holds the ball, it's actually not very good. It's got sharp edges in it, and they get stuck on the extensions and stuff. So it's super, super frustrating to use, and I would not buy them again. Over here, this is the other half of that Nico set. So this is the 1/4 inch set right here, and then 3/8 right here. So like this T30 is that Bergen, but this T40 is the Nico, and that matches with this set. So this set from Nico, 4 here, and then 7 here. That's under $20. Great set, made of S2 tool steel. They've been really awesome so far. I got a T27 here that does not break, and I love it. Love it a lot. I just decided to bite the bullet and get a mixed set that had mixed 3/8 and mixed 1/4 inch because that was the best quality set I could find. These, I love them. I just showed these in the last video I think you guys saw on the X3 window regulator. These are long Torx bits, 3/8 drive, made by Nico. Love them. I'm keeping them here for right now until I find a more permanent home for them. Over here, we got the tried and true, the one that I love. This is the 2757, the Milwaukee. This is their original 3/8 ratchet, and I love this thing a whole lot. I'm still using it. It still lives right here. Next to it is the new version. This is the 1/4 inch. I've reviewed this before, so this is going to be the 2556. I love this one. This is the 1/4 inch one I have. Love that one a lot, and particularly love that. Now over here on this side, I've got channel lock screwdrivers or pry drivers, chisels, punches. I don't use flathead screwdrivers to unscrew flathead screws because honestly, when was the last time you needed to unscrew a flathead screw on a modern car? It just doesn't happen. You use it as a punch, you use it as a chisel. Anyway, that's why I bought these, because they have striking caps on them because I'm always banging on them with a hammer. And I love this set. It was also under $20. Are you getting the theme here? I don't spend ridiculous amounts of money on my tools. I just look for ones that are good quality, and that's what I go with. This right here is a Vessel Japanese-made screwdriver. It's supposed to be JIS, Japanese Industrial Standard. Sometimes you got those carburetors that have those not quite Phillips screws, and you try to get a Phillips screwdriver on them and unscrew them, and it just strips the screw out. That's why you need a vessel screwdriver. It's supposed to be Japanese Industrial Standard. Here's the thing, it's actually not a true JIS. If you search around on the internet, there's a really interesting article. This is not the original JIS pattern. This is like an updated pattern that's supposed to be compatible with both JIS screws and regular Phillips screws. Anyway, whatever. This is as close as you're going to find to a JIS screwdriver. But this is supposed to be an impact driver, just like, you know, the impact driver you have where you put the bit on it, you hit it with a hammer. Same thing with this. You hit it with a hammer, and the screwdriver part is going to rotate a little bit, and that'll just help to get screws undone. Funny thing is, though, you don't really even need one of these special screwdrivers to do that. Just take a normal screwdriver. It helps if it has a striking cap because, you know, you're going to mar it up. But even if it doesn't, get that screwdriver on that bolt, give it a twist, whack it with a hammer. You're going to get the bolt. You're going to get that screw loose, and you're not going to strip it out because, you know, the force is all being pushed downward. When you hit it with the hammer, everything's being pushed downward. The only place that force can escape is by unscrewing that screw. And it happens and it works. Trust me, I've done it. This is for carburetors. If you notice, a normal flathead screwdriver is tapered right here. And you usually can't get it in like a slot. Sometimes you got a screw that's down in the middle of a slot, like when you're repairing the carburetor on a small engine. This one, made by Stanley, actually will fit down in there and adjust those carburetor screws. So if you're interested in that, you can find that at your local hardware stores around here. And then just over here, I've got some stubby screwdrivers. In this drawer, we have got the beloved 3/8 Milwaukee Impact, the 200 foot-pound one. That's the 2654. Love this thing. This is one of my most favorite tools in the world. Love it, love it, love it. I've got a 4-pound sledge, and I've got a 2-pound just regular ball peen. And, you know, those are all the hammers I pretty much ever really need or use. You know, there's a lot of other hammers you could buy, and I do have some other ones, but these are the ones I use the most. I've organized this box into just the things that I use the most. Everything else is in my other box, okay? This is for cleaning off brake or wheel hubs when you're doing brakes. This kind of, you know, goes over the wheel stud. You spin it on a drill. That just cleans up the face of it really good. You got some extra bits for that. I've got these bits for my drill. These also clean up. I use them for brakes and everything. This is just like brake stuff. This is a little tool for winding back the rear brake calipers for the parking brakes. Well, on some rear brake calipers, they have integrated parking brakes, and you can't push the piston in with a regular C-clamp or, you know, with any other kind of tools. You have to get this in there and spin it around and turn the piston so that it turns inward. And the way you use this is you put a 3/8 extension on them and just, you know, use a regular ratchet, and you can just kind of turn it in. And I have, you know, these are great. They cost nothing. And if you don't quite have the right size, like I didn't quite have the right size for a mini, I just ground off these lugs right here. And then this became the perfect tool for that mini. So get one of those. You don't need to get that whole big kit that has all the different adapters in it. All you need is just one of those for as often as you encounter those. Just got some more brushes in here to clean, you know, hubs and whatnot. Got an old wheel lock nut, I got an old axle nut in there. I always call it a wheel nut, but it's an axle nut. For when you need to hold a brake rotor on, you need to put the lug nut back on. You need a little bit of a spacer between the brake rotor. That's for that. These are caliper hanging tools. You can get these. I got these at the 99-cent store for $1, but you can also buy them for $10 off Amazon if you can't find them. Oh, and I almost forgot this tool. This is for 4-piston calipers for when you need to push those back in. Works pretty well. So this is how you use it. You kind of go like that, and it spreads open. And so that spreads the calipers evenly and pushes all the pistons in at the same time. So that just kind of makes your life a little easier sometimes when you need that. But you only need that if you're going to do, like, a 4-piston caliper. So otherwise you can just use, you know, C-clamp or whatever else you got. Upper drawer. This is a set of 7 pick tools from Harbor Freight for $7. Really love this set. Much, much better quality than the $2 set that they sell. Not the best in the world, but it's been really great so far, and they haven't pulled apart, which the old, you know, the $2 set likes to do. This is my favorite. This is probably my favorite tool. The Stanley Fat Max pocket screwdriver. I've got a bunch of these, got them everywhere. It's just, I love it. It's become my new favorite tool. This is another magnet. This one has a little flexible end on it. Always great to have magnets around. This is just box cutter from Harbor Freight. Slightly modified so that it'll flip open. Nice and easy there. This is a trim tool. Great to have these to pop up clips and whatnot. Great thing to have. This is a little mirror. It sucks. You know, that's a Harbor Freight thing. I need to get a much bigger one so that I can actually see stuff. I think Tecton makes a big one that I want to get. This is for when you want to turn a 1/4-inch nut into a nut driver. So that's what that is. That extension's for that. And this is an actual fixed nut driver for 8mm. I like this Stanley adjustable wrench here, the small one, because it's thin. Sometimes you can get it in where you need a thin wrench, and it's particularly nice because of that. It's got some Allen wrenches there. This is a fuel line cutoff tool. So whenever you need to pinch off any line, just any line, fuel, whatever, you need to pinch it off, you use one of these, spin that on. This one's made by OTC. You can actually get a set of 4 of these, different sizes from Harbor Freight for under $10, so I would get that. Over here we've got fuel, quick connect, you know, AC line, quick disconnects or disconnect tools of all sizes. These are Harbor Freight. I've got both of the sets. These are for, what are these for? I forget. These are just special bolts I had for some particular reason, probably from some old video, and I forget. This drawer, this is sort of the junk drawer. I've got a couple of these non-marring pry tools in here. Some of the other ones of the set, they're in other places. Probably need to buy another one of these sets just so I can have a full set in here. Oh, I guess I found one of the Torx drivers in there. These are feeler gauges and little tiny tape measure. Isn't that cute? Let's see, pens. This is silicone paste, aka dielectric grease. Love that. Rubber safe lubricant for O-rings. A little X-Acto blade tool with a broken blade. Got to get a new one of those. Good tire gauge. Good, heavy, good working tire gauge. These are for these are valve core removal tools. If you want to get the valve core out of a tire or out of a, you know, an AC quick fitting or whatever, that's good for that. This is a seam ripper. This is a sewing seam ripper. If you ever need to open up a wiring harness, or if you've got like a wiring harness that's taped, you want to open it up, it's because you need to test the wires in there. That's what this is for. This actually rips open. There's a little blade inside here. It's really great. I don't know why it's sticky right here. I have no idea. So I got some Sharpies. These are paint Sharpies, which are great to have. Just scissors, oil stickers, clamps, miscellaneous stuff. One time I went to the junkyard and I pulled a bunch of the different size AC fittings. They're used, you know, probably not the best, but I have them just in case I absolutely need them. This is a battery terminal cleaner kit. So that's going to clean the actual battery terminals themselves. This is going to clean the battery terminals. This is going to clean the cable ends. So these are great to have. You should have one of these. Just kind of keep your battery up to date there. I don't know why I have that in there. This is a fuse puller tool, and this is a tire. This is a tire gauge. So this will tell you how, you know, this is a tire tread depth gauge. So that'll tell you how much tread you have left on your tires. Good thing to have. That's it for this drawer. So this is the wrench drawer. These are Ernst rails. I did not get the magnetic ones, and I regret that, but I read that the magnetic ones don't have that structure because they just have sort of like a a stick-on magnetic tape on the bottom of them. They're not that strong, and I still wish I had gone for that. I think the idea was I was going to get some better magnetic tape for these or something. Haven't done it yet. Sometimes they get knocked over and whatnot, but it's fine. So these are my gear wrenches over here. I got from, what is that? Is that an 8? Yeah, it goes from 8 all the way up to 22 with no skips. Love that gear wrench set. Can't recommend them highly enough. I've got a 24 and a 26 from this long Harbor Freight wrench set that I bought a long time ago. Do not buy that set. It sucks. They bend. They're not thick enough. Harbor Freight needs to improve that set in my opinion, but they will because they improve their tools, and that's a nice thing. This is a Blackhawk that I found. It's just a straight ratcheting 10 millimeter. It's come in handy. These are my original gear wrench set that I just bought from Sears, just the first one I bought. It skips a bunch of sizes. You know, you got an 8, a 10, a 12, 13, 14, 15, 17, and 18. So no 16. I don't know why they skip 16s in sets. Why do they do that? I made the mistake of getting the ones, let me show you a bigger one, of getting the ones with the little collar on them. So you see how you can see the little teeth down here. So that's meant to sort of, you know, if you're slipping down on a bolt, it holds itself on the bolt and it won't go farther than the bolt. I suppose that's handy if you're getting a bolt off of a long stud and you're going like this, you know, you're ratcheting it off and ratcheting it off. If you didn't have that, you would slip down past the nut sometimes and, you know, it'd be a little frustrating. That's fine and everything. I think that's what I was thinking. Oh, I thought, oh, that's an interesting feature. No. It means that you can't turn these around and use them to get in hard to access places when you need to, because that won't go onto a nut because of this little stop collar right here. So don't buy these kind, just buy the normal kind without the stop collar. I made that mistake and I plan to replace them at some point. These are Mountain long flex ratcheting wrenches, and they're reversible. They are spline wrenches, so it's that universal spline drive. They're not actually 12-point wrenches, which is, you know, probably the only thing that I don't like about them, but I love them. Other than that, they're really super long, and they're, you know, they're strong enough. They don't look it. They look way thinner than the long Harbor Freights, but they're plenty strong for their size, and you got a good set of sizes here, so I really love those, and yeah, I recommend them. This is a 36 and 32 wrench. I don't know where it's from because I got it as a birthday present. It's awesome. My friends know me. And this is just the fan holder tool. So this is supposed to be my fan holder, my fan wrench set for getting clutch fans off, you know. But yeah, this is from a set that you can just buy on eBay for less than $20. So I just replaced the wrench it comes with this one. So finally, the lower drawer. I really love organizing my pliers this way, and I'm glad I did it. Before I had this, I had all of those pliers stuffed into this drawer, and it was almost impossible to find anything in there. I mean, I kind of knew where things were, but I forgot that I had a lot of things in there. This is a much better way of organizing your pliers. These are Ernst wrench racks right here. Everything's from Ernst. I think they kind of make the best stuff for the best price. So let's just go this way. These are Crescent. These are those double things, you know. I've got straights and I've got the 45-degree ones. This is honestly sort of a gimmick. It doesn't really give you any more squeezing power really, but they were 13 bucks for the set, so I got them. These are hose clamp pliers. I got these from Harbor Freight, super cheap. These are really awesome to have. They grab onto hoses, let you pull them off. They also double as connector pushers. So if you need to get down and push on the sides, squeeze on the sides of a connector that's down below where you can feel it, you can just use that, squeeze on the sides and pull the connector right off. These are awesome tools to have. This is a right angle long from Harbor Freight, which I've ground a little channel into so that it can kind of grab onto those ear clips and squeeze those ear clips and kind of work them off. Those are good. These are plier wrenches. Pliers. This is a Pliers wrench from Knipex. Love this thing. They've reinvented the adjustable wrench. This one's a lot better. Check out Knipex, and especially the Knipex Cobras. These are just absolutely awesome. They grab on, the teeth are super strong. They're in a great profile. They grab on strong. They work really well. They're probably the best adjustable wrench that you can get. These are just some Weiss cutters, tin snips. Love these. These are just usually my go-to scissors. This is made by Blue Point. These actually also grab onto those little clips that are holding on radiator hoses sometimes. They're all right. They work great. This little cup is perfect. It's self-adjusting. It kind of gets in the clips. Sometimes, because there's such a dip in the cup, sometimes they don't actually squeeze the clips all the way open, or as much as they possibly could be. But these are great because they've got this little ratcheting mechanism. So when you close them, they stay closed and they won't open back up, wherever they are. So they stay closed. That's pretty handy. I like that. This is just some dikes. I think these are Klein. These are Knipex needle nose. These are great. These are so much better than the needle nose that I had before, because these are way thinner and they're way longer and they kind of get into better places and they grip really good. I love Knipex. I can't recommend Knipex highly enough. I mean, I gotta say, I'm a channel lock guy. I love channel lock. I love the fact that they're made in America. But if there's a better made tool out there, I'm gonna have that tool. So in this particular case, Knipex, they make the better versions of these three tools. So I have those. But I have channel lock in other places. So let's see, these right here, these are awesome. These are Nico. And this was like originally a snap-on tool, I believe. I saw these are wire strippers down here, but then they have the crimpers up here. And to me, these are just so much better because, once you have the crimp on, the little butt connector on the wire, with the old ones, they had the wire strippers up here and the crimper part down here. So you had the little wire connector on, and you would have to go like, this. You would have to move the thing around because you usually had one wire crimped already and you're still crimping the second wire. You have to go like this. You have to go around and get it on there and squeeze down, and it's so stupid the way they do that. This makes so much more sense. You can, when the wire's free, you just go down here, strip the wire. Then once you have the butt connector on, you just go right there and crimp it down. These are awesome. These are under 20 bucks. This is just a Harbor Freight, needle nose locking plier. They work fine. They work great. They don't have a lot of play in them. They have too much play. They do have some play. They're not, okay, maybe they're not, freaking awesome, but whatever. This is old set of channel locks. This is an old set of vice grips. This came from my grandpa. I inherited this tool, so love this tool in particular. I cherish it. This is a great set of wire strippers, just automatic wire strippers. Love this brand, really awesome. They work great. More wire strippers, just because, sometimes you need something that'll do a 26 gauge wire, so that's why that's in there. These are panel clip tools. These are made by Lyle. Usually Lyle makes great stuff, but in this case, I really wish they made it so that it's sprung back open, because it's kind of awkward to use and it traps your finger in there. I don't think I'd buy these again. I think I'd buy a different set that has a little spring inside of them. These are great. Hose removal pliers. You stick those on a hose, vacuum hose or something that's trapped up against something, you go like that, and it spreads the hose off. You've seen me use these in a recent video. They are awesome. Flush cutting side cutters, great stuff. They can cut, you can cut a zip tie completely flush so that it won't scrape you once you do that. This is a snap-on locking flex head. This was my go-to ratchet for a while. I hate the locking mechanism on it because it's really hard to grab. It's not knurled for some reason. It's just completely smooth. I don't get it. I don't get why they did it that way. It happens to be a really great, once it's locked securely, but it's hard to kind of get open and move. It's supposed to have a permanent unlocking feature where if you push it down and then rotate it off to the side, it's supposed to stay open so that you now have a non-locking flex head. But the instant you go to use it, the instant you brush by it, it unlocks and you're done. And it's so frustrating. I don't use it. I'm probably going to sell it. Rubber strap wrench. This is the 1/2 inch that I use all the time. I use this, you know, this is basically mostly my breaker bar for the most part because it's a ratchet. Okay, so I use this if I need to bar an engine over. So this is the one that gets used whenever I'm using a 1/2 inch socket. Love that. That's from Pittsburgh. Super cheap. This is also a Pittsburgh. Real Tool Reviews did a review on this one. This is a great breaker bar. Holds up to the snap-on and all the other ones. Super great quality, but I never use breaker bars. I don't need to because I've got the miracle worker thanks to Milwaukee. Over here, this is my top dead center finder tool. Stick this in #1 cylinder and bar the engine over and wait until you see it come up to the very top of its travel. So that's what that is. Just a cheap dowel. Now this is the newer Milwaukee fuel. That's going to be the 2557. And I don't use it as much as I use this one just because, frankly, the head is too big and it doesn't get into certain places. It's just too fat around this end, you know? And this is so much smaller. This gets in where I need it to. This, unfortunately, you know, it gets kicked off to the side because it doesn't get in everywhere. Milwaukee, I've talked to Milwaukee about this. I mean, they never intended this to replace this. This was always supposed to be just a completely different tool for when you need more strength, more torque, when you need to be able to do bigger fasteners and whatnot. That's what this is supposed to be meant for. So it's not a replacement for this. This is still a completely valid tool to buy, and this is the one that I would recommend to you guys. This is what you should get. This is probably my favorite tool ever. I know I've said that quite a few times, but this is it. This is my favorite tool ever. So down on the side, this actually comes with, you know, a little tray to store all of your chemicals and whatnot. So I got, you know, silicone spray, brake clean, carb clean, got the brake grease down there, PB blaster, all the common things. So I store that stuff down there. And, you know, down below, I keep just miscellaneous stuff. I keep some lengths of vacuum hoses. I got a timing tool down there. Just got, this is that flex tubing for electrical lines if you need to replace that. Got ear protection, gloves. I've got a bunch of these boxes from Harbor Freight, all the clamps, the O-rings, the various different things. I keep those down there. Keep some sanding pads, some sandpaper down there, various things like that. But also that's where a lot of things go to disappear. So, you know. So that's pretty much it, guys. Like I said, it is a great box. It's got, you know, it's great if you're just a home mechanic or if you're just starting out. But if you are a technician who's just starting out, you're going to outgrow it soon. I would highly recommend that you get a box that has drawers all the way down. In fact, I feel like I've outgrown this particular box myself, and I'm looking at getting OEM Tools makes I believe it's a 6-drawer service cart. So it's got drawers all the way down. It's $500, and I think I'm going to upgrade to that. So once I do, I'll do a review video on that and show you how I have that set up, just so I can put more stuff in the lower drawers and, you know, get a couple more tools that I use more often. But yeah. So that is it, guys. That's my review of the Harbor Freight 5-drawer service cart. If you liked the video, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe if you want to see more. I'm the 50s Kid. Thanks a lot for watching.